Agent Wilson tuning in here for my lunch break. Back at the house, home office, and I ended up passing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 91 business cards out since essentially since 9, 10 this morning. So that's, it is what it is. I did want to make this video because I had on the way back to home office here, I had 3 job offers from people just this morning. I was knocking on this one lady's door. She was like, "Hey, you want a job?" And I was like, me? She's like, "Yeah, you want a job? You don't have to be outside." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm a real estate agent." She's like, "I'm also a real estate agent. And I got a job doing this was I think it was some type of hard money lending or some type of mortgage broker." She's like, "Yeah, it's real money." I was like, "Well, you got my email address. You can always text it to me." And I was just like, okay, so that was pretty cool. I was like, "Yeah, you're offering me a job. I mean, I'm at least interested in what are these people trying to really pay me?" You know what I'm saying? Because I always use it as a measure of I'm attracting these type of opportunities to myself. So what is it that I'm actually attracting? And so she didn't really say much. She didn't want to come outside the house to talk to me. So I was like, well, can't really do much with that. But that's it's a grand gesture. So then again, I went over to, I was coming back. I was like, it's lunchtime. I had a feeling because I was hungry. Came back over to the Quick Trip on the way back, gas station. I was like, "Man, can I get some water?" So I asked the guy in the store if I could get some water. And so he's like, "Yeah, sure." And so while I'm sitting outside drinking the water, this other guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, you trying to apply for it? You trying to get a job?" I'm like, "No, I'm not actually. Here's my business card because Agent Wilson at your service, And so he's like, oh, cool. I have a company. I got a landscape management company, and I've actually seen their office here in town. And he's like, "Yeah, man, you got to stay on that real estate. I got a friend up in North Gwinnett. She makes $60,000 a month." I was like, "Okay, $60,000 a month, sounds about right where I need to be at." I'm like, okay, so he's at least believing I could be making that much, or I am making similar amounts of money. And I'm like, that's really cool. Again, I was at the second job offer, wow. So then as I'm leave there and I'm walking still back here to home office, I'm just walking. Guy in the UPS truck is like, "Hey man, you thought about getting yourself a job with us? You want a job?" I'm like, "A job? What? Why you people keep offering me jobs?" He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "How much you think we make?" I was like, I don't know, 20, 15. He's like, "Nah, man, you gotta go up." I'm like, "Oh, and I'm like, "Nah, I'm unemployable." And he's like, "Oh, well, how much you think we make?" I'm like, I'm not good at guessing that type of stuff, because if it's more than 20, I'm not trying to disrespect the man by saying something low. I already thought 15 was high enough. And he was like, "Yeah, man, well, it's not 20. It's more we top out at about 40 an hour." I was like, 40 an hour? That's, that's about 80,000 a year working at UPS, which, is pretty good. If you want that, if I wanted that, I'm like, man, 80,000 a year is what this guy is making at UPS. And he's telling me, "Hey, hey, check us out, man. You should apply for us." Since I guess the suit, the shirt, the name badge, the company branding, the general air of professionalism is appealing. Well, people are like, "I want you on my team." So I'm like, "Oh, well, appreciate that, but again, I'm building my empire here." So no, I'm not. I would always interview for a job if I have a job offer, because I want to see just what are the parameters, what are companies looking for, and just what is a job interview. But I mean, again, I'm always interviewing for a job, because I'm always like, hey, I'm looking to sell your home. I'm interviewing for you. Like, trust me as the person to be the one to get the job done. And so that was pretty cool. So he was like, yeah, so I'm like, that's an $80,000 a year opportunity, which he's pitching to me. So I'm like, man, I guess I'm really putting enough work in where people are like, okay, like I'm attracting $80,000 a year opportunities. And, but again, remember what that other guy said. He said $60,000 a month. Okay, that's $720,000 a year. It's what he believes is like my, like average as far as he knows, as far as the agent goes. Then I met another guy. This wasn't a job offer, but I was telling him about, you know, me selling real estate. He said, how long you been in the business? He said, how much, what's the most expensive property you sold? $1 million? I was like, man, I was like, it's a quadruplex. It wasn't $1 million. However, I do appreciate that he believes I could be selling $1 million. I could be, because it's the same thing, but that he just assumes that like, hey, you could be, I'm selling, not you could be, he assumes I sell $1 million properties, which I'm like, wow, I need to internalize that, because the public believes I'm making $60,000 a month, $80,000 a year, which like, okay, so like $80,000 to $720,000 a year, $1 million properties, asking me if I want to interview with their job on the spot. So that means I just look very professional in this in my uniform, which I take to be a good thing. And then if I can upgrade it more, I'll do so. So I just needed to just make this video, because sometimes I'll be like, man, I'm in between deals. So yeah, again, like it's just like the public believes in me. I need to continue to believe in me. Farewell. And I do believe in me. Stronger. Play the passion game. Share your passion. Pass out more business cards. I can pass out at least another 100 before the day is over, after I eat lunch. Farewell.